Man, the principal rapping now. First, you know what, Mark? I want to ask you something. Mark Wahlberg is a well-known name all over the world, and I know you got a film company. You got a movie on the way. You have a family. You have a lot on your plate. But what brought you here today? What made you decide to come here?
Well, anytime I get an opportunity to speak to kids and encourage them to first and foremost finish high school, get an education. You guys are the future of the world. There isn't anything you can't accomplish. If you think about what I accomplished without having a high school diploma, imagine what you guys can do with a great education. So, it's important for me to come, I wasn't very fortunate when I was a kid, but I'm very blessed. And so for me to come back and encourage kids, it's very important to me. And shit, just to hang out with you guys, excuse my language, I slipped a little.
Just like Ted.
Sorry, Principal. I apologize. Shit just happens sometimes. We've all heard it before. But, see, I like to talk to you guys when the adults aren't around. I can be a little more honest, but no, I just, want to encourage you guys. This is such a crucial time in your life. The decisions you make over the next few years are going to impact you forever. So I really want to encourage you to do the right thing. What's cool in life is doing the right thing. Being a good person, being a good friend, being a good neighbor. Those are what's cool in life. You might not think that now, but you'll realize that later on. Now that I'm a parent and I have 4 kids, I wish I listened to my parents. Because most of my friends who like me made some poor choices, and we thought we were having fun, drinking, getting high, and doing that stuff. Those things affect you in a way where you might not be able to turn your life around. Most of my friends are incarcerated, and this is a much nicer place to be. Getting an education, being around people that care about you. Because once you make those decisions and you start ending up in places like I was, you might not get a second chance. So,
I think what it is too with Mark, a lot of people don't realize how much adversity you faced in your life growing up in Boston. He's the youngest of 9 kids, correct? And what was it, the time you did spend in high school, like at this time, like at this stage in their lives? You were here once, I was here once. What were you like in high school? What was the high school time like for you?
I was so stupid, man. It was like, and I actually had an opportunity to go to a good school academically. They didn't have, I was an aspiring athlete. I wanted to play basketball and football and baseball and hockey. They didn't have a sports program, so I was kind of bummed out about that. But, they had what I needed. I just didn't know that was important. And I regret a lot of the decisions that I made, so a lot of people look at me and they're like, well, if you didn't go, we don't need to go. That's not the case because, most people in my position have very good education. And there's a million people who have great education who are dying to do what I do and don't get the opportunity. So if my career goes south, I'm working at McDonald's. I'm driving a tow truck. Nobody's going to be helping me out. So I don't have an education to fall back on. That's why I felt like it was important to go back and get my diploma.
Right? Give him a round of applause for that too. Like at this time in his life, he's going back to do what you're doing right now, right? Years later.
Trying.
So that's commendable. You dropped out of high school, but you've gone on to become this producer, this Oscar-nominated actor. You're a tremendous artist. You really diversified your portfolio, so to speak. What made the difference that got you from being a high school dropout to where you are today? What was that point of difference?
Just wanted to do the right thing. I refocused my faith, started going back to church, started, really just with my faith and making the right decisions. Because when I got out of trouble, it wasn't like I could say, okay, well, I'm not going to be in the gang anymore. I still lived in the same neighborhood. So when I wasn't one of the guys anymore, and I said, no, I'm not running with you guys, I'm going to turn my life around, it became that much more difficult. Because if I wasn't with them, I was against them. But I was determined that no matter what, I was going to turn my life around. I was going to do something productive, you know, was going to get a job, and I was just going to live on a straight and narrow. You know, I didn't like being incarcerated. And then once I started doing the right thing, good things started to happen. So, you know, it's like when you try to cheat your way in life, it just doesn't work. You know, it's through hard work and dedication that things happen. And then once I realized, you know, I had to work twice as hard as everybody else, I was just willing to do that. You know, I wanted to succeed in life. And, you know, when you find something that you enjoy or you have goals that you set for yourself, you just got to commit to working to achieving those goals, and you can make them happen.
That's what's up. Mark Wahlberg, ladies and gentlemen. T.C. Williams, how y'all feel today? Make some noise. All right. Now we're going to take some questions. I know some of the student body have put together some questions. So we have a few people want to talk with you, Mark. Go ahead, say your name, say what your class, you know, what grade you're in, and then shoot off your question.
My name's Tabria, and I'm in 10th grade, and I wanted to know, who do you admire or look up to?
The people that I really admire and look up to now are the people that have dedicated their lives to helping young people. You know, like your principals, like your teachers, like the security here, like the police officers, people that serve the community and the public. You know, our military, you know, people that dedicated their lives to serving God and serving the church, and people that go out there and work hard to provide for their family, you know. The honest, hard-working individual, the guy that takes pride in doing the right thing are the people that I admire, you know. I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of people in my life, and some people that I admired for their success, and, you know, you meet them and they're not what they're cracked up to be, you know. I don't admire somebody necessarily. Now, I can appreciate their talent, but I admire people that work hard and help people and give back. Those are the people that I really admire.
Yeah. Great question. Great answer. Next.
My name's Khalil Brundage, and I'm a senior.
This is the popular guy with the ladies, I see that. He's got slippers on, so he's really looking good right now.
How do you keep up your motivation when you went through difficult times? How do you keep up your motivation when you went through difficult times?
I just remember where I came from, and I constantly remind myself how lucky I am, and I don't take any of these things for granted. You know, I had to work really hard to get where I'm at. And I don't mind working really hard to try to maintain it. It's through hard work that I've been able to achieve this kind of success. So, you know, for me, having real life experience has benefited me in a lot of ways in my career. You know, I think and that's the thing that I'm challenged and faced with every day when raising my own kids, because I wanted to give them all the things that I never had. But I still want them to know what it's like to not have, you know, to motivate them and instill that ability to work hard and to appreciate and not take things for granted, you know, because I don't want my kids having this sense of entitlement. You know, everything of value, you know, is through hard work. So, you know, you just gotta keep your eyes on the prize, and it could always be worse. You know, if you think about how bad you have it, somebody always has it worse. And if you don't like the situation you're in, work hard and change it. You know, I'm telling you, my life changed so drastically. I'm you know, 41 years old. You know, my kids live a very different life than the one I lived. You know, usually it takes a couple generations to turn it around, but anything is possible. So don't let anything get you down. If you want to achieve anything in life, work hard.
Great question.
Okay. My name is Soleil, and I want to know, what is your favorite role you ever played and why?
You guys like Ted?
Four brothers!
Dirk Diggler! You know,
Four brothers!
oh, hey, no Boogie Nights in here. You know what? I'd have to say, I have quite a few films that I'm proud of, which is a difficult thing as an actor because, you know, actors don't really have that much control over their career, and a lot of times you're working just to pay the bills, so you don't really get to be that choosy when it comes to the parts you play. So I've been very fortunate in that I've been able to be selective, but Fighter was probably the most important movie to me because it's such an inspirational story. It mirrors my life in so many ways, and hopefully it will continue to inspire people, but it was just something that I believed in and never gave up on. And, you know, hopefully that will inspire people. But I have a couple of movies coming out this year that I'm very proud of. And we're gonna do Ted 2. Next summer. And we're about to do the new installment of Transformers. With Michael Bay, so.
Wow. And he's at your school, all right, T.C. Williams. We have another question?
When you hear the sound of thunder, I can't say the swears. It's Max is here.
Hi, I'm Sam, sophomore. Did you have any backup plans if your performance career did not work?
I didn't. No, but you know, like I said earlier, it didn't matter. I was gonna do